Hey, welcome. Sorry, I have to admit that my fluffy, soft, warm bed sucked me in this morning after the snooze button was hit 3 times. So my humanity got me today, and I hope you enjoyed an extra long meditation. Sometimes it's a good thing. So every day is a chance to use the current events to upgrade. So that's really the topic this week is how to use our emotional nature and its actual purpose. And so this was actually a lesson that was imparted to me by a great spiritual teacher named Emmett Fox. You can always look him up. He's certainly a favorite of mine. And he has explained so many spiritual principles in ways that literally unlocked understanding that otherwise I'm not sure I ever would have gained access to. So definitely a resource for me. Emmett Fox, Emmet. And oddly enough, this bit of teaching that he imparted in one of his chapters was in a book of his called The Ten Commandments. Frankly, for which I had zero interest. The Ten Commandments to me seemed utterly banal, trite, silly, just of no value whatsoever. But I was wrong. And it had to do with the one commandment that says, honor your mother and your father. Sorry, that just doesn't do it for me. But he unlocked it and said, mother and father stands for the masculine and feminine principles. And of course, we should honor our mothers and fathers in a practical sense, good common sense knowledge. But the deeper meaning of honor your mother and father means to honor the masculine and the feminine, the yin and yang. And these are all faculties that we have within us. And so when it comes to the mother and the father, the mother, the feminine, represents the emotional nature. The masculine represents the thought nature. We might say it represents the left and the right brain, the yin and the yang. So our emotional life is our feminine nature. And if it's not utilized properly, then we can really experience great damage in our life. And of course, to make a baby, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. To make a baby, it takes a mommy and a daddy. Who knew today's conversation would go there? Without a mommy and a daddy, without the masculine and the feminine principle, babies aren't made. It's the same with every form of creation in reality. It takes masculine and feminine principle. And so emotion is the organic feminine catalyst for building new brain tissue. There you go. There's the key dynamic I'm going to talk about for the rest of the week and for the rest of my life, because the principle behind this is so stunningly strong that all of our brain tissue and all of our neuronal pathways and habits, once upon a time, were created as the result of strong emotion being mated with powerful thought. And those two things together come together and they act as an organic catalyst for building our perceptual pathways in our brain. Now, as we've gotten older, our brain pathways are set in place. And the only thing that will change them, that will give us access to neuroplasticity, the great quality that scientists, brain scientists now state unequivocally give us access to changing our brain, is this neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity depends upon two things, or the organic catalyst of emotion and the organic catalyst of strong thought. When we were little kids, oftentimes trauma shaped our brain because strong emotion was coupled with a strong thought. Now, should we repress our emotions and hide them if they're negative? No, we should access them, which can be a very difficult process, but it does give us access to the great resource of emotion itself. When we're feeling strong emotion, we might call it a storm. if we use that storm of emotion and couple it with strong, healthy, loving thoughts, we might call them prayers or affirmation, we've now got the key to putting together the organic catalyst of emotion and thought and mating them together and giving birth to new neuronal pathways in our brain. This has been my own personal experience. Repressed emotion, hidden emotion, was released into storms of grief, sadness, resentment, abandonment, jealousy. That was extremely painful for me. But when I began to learn that the emotion needed to rise to the surface and then be channelized, to be focused, to be aimed into positive, loving, new thoughts, true thoughts about the nature of reality, and that by doing so, I could begin to build new brain. Probably the most profound lesson I've ever gotten in my life, not to repress emotion, not to hide it, but when emotion does come, not to wallow in it and not to be swamped in emotion, but to actively, diligently, especially through painful emotion, aim that painful emotion toward the highest, most loving, most functional, most intelligent thought that I can. We'll talk more about it. I think I've revealed enough of this organic catalyst idea. Emotion plus thought mated together equals the organic capacity to build new brain tissue. Wow. Anyway, have a beautiful day. Sorry for being late, and we'll expand on this for the rest of the week. See you.